Ah, hi everyone. I'm back. I'd like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube. It's Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within, and my TikTok channel is 1974 Enlightened Soul, aka Spirit Mother One. Right now, there's a lot of things happening in the world, and I feel a lot of it. And right now, my heart is just like boom, boom. Like it's tight, but it's thumping and it's like expanding. So it's like, so if I start like, it looks like panting, I'm just kind of trying to get my breath here. Okay. They're not aware of what my channel is about. I do a lot of the teachings of going within myself because in order to become an enlightened soul, I went through a lot, and I share a lot of it on my YouTube, my Facebook, and my TikTok when I do lives. I'm kind of more of a I'm here for the harder souls, the ones that are struggling to come out of that rut, because I was there myself where I just kept I kept feeling sorry for myself, so I couldn't bring myself out of it. And I was always looking for, that knight in shining armor, or that somebody that was going to give me all the answers, which they can't give you the answers. You have the answers yourself, and it's the part of getting out of our own way. It's it can be very rough for a lot of us. And today, learning, I'm talking about learning who to trust. Okay, because thank you. We're all going through this part because right now there's so much what appears to be chaos and what have you. And there's a lot of propaganda that's being used against us. And it's actually been put out, like in Canada, there was an article in The Guardian which said about like our military and what have you working with Trudeau, because they were going to use propaganda against the people. And back in it was 64, they had an extraterrestrial being, okay? And it was saying in there about that it was going to use propaganda. There was other places where beings would come in, and they mostly go to the children because children are more susceptible, because adults tend to freak out a lot. Like the mall in Miami. Some people don't want to believe that. They say, oh, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's actually not illusions. You're actually seeing it. I explained to someone just last night, I believe it was, about like it's like Alice in Wonderland, and you're walking through the looking glass. You could be walking, and then it's like, oh my geez, like I just walked into somewhere's different. There's a lot of talk about with regards to our prime ministers, our presidents, of what have you, our government, and what have you. And I'm going to share an experience that I had. Thank you. Welcome from Victoria. When back, I believe it was around about our last election in Canada, I wasn't well at the time, okay? And was a disability. I was from a very low income neighborhood. They called it the ghetto, the hood, what have you. A lot of there was said to be a lot of crime there and what have you. And this one person, one woman that was trying to get in government, that was working with our community, she was looking for people, and I decided, well, I'm going to go, okay, because I want to make changes in the world, okay. But I want to make big changes. I don't want to fill people's heads with lies and deceit and say, like, okay, like hey, vote for us, and we'll do this for you. But we're only going to tell you we're going to do this for you until we get in, and then we're going to tell you go fuck yourself. Excuse my French. You never know what you're going to get on my channel. Sorry, I can be spastic. I'll cry. It's just like I'm constantly channeling different forms of spirit. Okay, whether it be our ancestors or just like our family, what have you. It's exposing truths and saying like who to trust, because I trusted this person. Okay, because I was really into it, because they were like bringing forth to me things about what would be good for my community and everything like that. And I basically grew up in that area almost my whole life. And so I was going around with this person, Michelle, I'll say her name, Michelle Lindsay. Okay. And somebody just said you shouldn't say their name. Well, I'm going to say their name. Okay. Because if you're putting yourself in a placement where you say you're doing for the people, okay, but you're taking someone that you know is unwell, that wants to help people, but is unwell, on disability, very low income, living in a ghetto hood, as they say. Well, I asked, how can I help? So she come back with, okay, well, we need somebody doing the bookkeeping. Okay, but there was a catch, which the catch created for me because I took paralegal. So it created what would be classed as a conflict of interest, because it wasn't me that she wanted to do the bookkeeping. She wanted her husband to do the bookkeeping, but she wanted me to sign off on everything and for the expenses. And it was like, whoa, no. So to me, that's a part that's where I find it extremely difficult to even trust it, the ones affiliated with the government, because it's like I just want to get in and make a name for myself instead of doing what's best for people. Right now, I got somebody that like, really, doesn't matter if you don't like me. It doesn't matter if you don't like what I have to say. If you don't like what I have to say, it's only because the truth hurts. Okay, so I'm going to get into it here in a few minutes about being able to like know who to trust, because a lot of people like to be posers and perceive themselves to be someone that they're not. Okay, I know there was periods in my life when I just felt like I had to be somebody I wasn't, because it was like fitting in with the crowd. I'll read a card and then I'm going to get in deeper. And I want to thank you all for coming in. Encourage. Yeah, okay. Well, it says again for the moderators to encourage my viewers to share the live, but I don't do that, okay? Because everybody will use their discernment. Okay, that's not what I come in for. I come in to share my experiences, to let others know that, like, share yours. Okay, because that's what's going to free you. You're allowing your truths to come through, becoming your authentic self. It's not about pointing fingers at other people in that sense, as it is like bringing out your experiences. Okay, and being truthful and honest with your experiences, with yourself. And it's coming in fast right now. It's like I have attacks coming at me, and I have heart chakras opening, and I have people anxious. And it's like, what do you say? Because I'm finding it myself very hard to trust other people, especially when you're able to connect with people, when you're able to feel other people's, whether they're being honest, truthful, or whether they're being deceitful. And by me doing this, it's bringing forth, and I can feel something trying to shut me down, which is like, Okay? And it's very oh, somebody just said you shouldn't talk about the government second. Yeah, watch me now. Okay? Because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the greed. I'm tired of the corruption. And I'm tired of people being stuck under someone's boot and being told that you need to live with this way. If you don't live this way, you're not humble. I'm humble. And it's like when they get up there and they'll go do things just to pose for a camera to say, "Oh, look what I'm doing! Look what I'm doing!" I'm supporting them, but are they only supporting them because they want to make a name for themselves? Are they only supporting them because they want to get in? Okay. I was just asked, would I want to work for the government? No, I wouldn't want to work for the government per se. But would I like to see things change for the people? Yes, I would. Because right now, our government is run on greed, and we are the ones that are supposed to be in charge of stuff. And what I was understanding was they're supposed to be working for the people, but right now it's like the people are working for them. They're going and like the people are starving, but they're giving themselves raises. Wait a minute. You're getting these big hunk of change raises, and the people, okay, I got a nickel. Okay? And the people, this is what they're doing to people. Here, take that. Just remember, when we get an election and we win, we're going to take it all back from you. Even that nickel. I had somebody that I know, it was a $10 check, or sorry, a 10-cent check in the mail. Okay? So it's like, wow, it costs more than that to write the 10-cent check. And people say, oh, well, it's money. No, it's an insult. Read this now. Right. Every problem has in it the seeds of its own solution. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. We are the solution. We can get in our own way and be the problem, or we can get out of our own way and see the bigger picture to become the solution. And by connecting with your inner self, your higher self, the spirit self, then you start seeing the bigger picture, and you start being able to open up and creating things for everyone as a whole, opposed to like just doing something for one person. Yesterday, wow, it's hot and heavy coming in. You can throw your attacks at me, you can throw disdain, you can throw anger, and people are wondering who I'm talking to. I'm talking to even people that you can't see writing. When you're telepathic, you can actually feel it. Feel that others are throwing stuff at you, attacks at you, because they don't want it to come out. Okay. And if this person that I said their name doesn't like me, well, that's too bad for you. You should not have tried to use me. I'm serious. It is not being a rat or anything like that. It's bringing forth truth to the people and exposing the greed and corruption that live within our government and the ones that want to get a name for themselves. The ones that should have a name are the ones that are actually doing for the people and not trying to use the little people to climb a ladder. Okay, its own solution. If you don't have any problems, you don't have any seeds. If you don't have any problems, you don't have any seeds. Well, that would be, however, I mean, everybody would look at that in a different aspect. And how I look at it is, if you don't have any problems, you don't have any seeds. Okay, I say about the seeds, we have seeds. Okay, they get planted, and when they get planted, um, it's all in the way they grow. If you don't have problems in your life and everything seems to be going smoothly, then you still have seed, but you planted, like it's growing into a good seed. It's growing naturally. And the ones that go through life experiencing different things that are perceived to be traumas and hardships, that's the parts of the seed. Um, I have like to do that stuff because everything all comes out at once. Um, I have done more one-on-one with other people to kind of bring that out because sometimes what can happen, especially with myself, like you get so many coming in. I am for real, yes. Things will come out as they come out. And right now I'm feeling like so many, it's like right up in here, the crown chakra, and it's like something is trying to shut me down to say, well, you're a phony, you're this, you're that, they spew it. I work more with energies, and I work with the ancient ancestors because I'm here to bring about change, to help others wake up so that they can bring about change themselves, so that they're like, the best way to explain to you is when you go in, like you're in wanting to connect with your mother and find out what your mother wants to say to you. Okay? What it is when you go within yourself, your mother will speak to you. And that's what I ended up doing. Okay? Because like there are different messages that comes out, and it's like when you get tarot readers, it comes out a lot for the collective, unless you're doing more of a one-on-one with someone. I work with harder souls, the ones that have seeds, like heart seeds planted so deep within, which creates that trust issue. And as it comes up, it's about trusting yourself, trusting your own intuition. You want, like, with regards to connecting with your mom, be in a meditative state. Just sit with yourself and talk within your heart. It's not about speaking everything out there. Right now, I guess it's a message coming through that you will find me in your heart. Look through pictures. Okay, some people find it very difficult to look through pictures. Okay, and I found it difficult. I started looking through other people's pictures. I started looking through my own pictures, and then I started looking at the world in the bigger picture. And I connect with my mom all the time. I connect with my grandparents whenever I want, or like just people that have been passed on, but they're actually, just because we can't see them doesn't mean that they're not there, because that's the spirit aspect of it, because we are spirits living in physical human experience. So it's, I get crying now. Uh, don't be sorry. It's okay to cry, because when you cry, you release what's within you that needs to come out. Some will say, "Oh well, get over it. Don't cry." No, you need to you need to mourn that, because the way of healing is to be able to allow yourself to mourn. Yes, because it represents big changes coming. It's signs saying that like you're on the right path. There's something that you're working on, and you can be suppressing it because you're too focused on one part of it, opposed to seeing it in the bigger picture. How did I do it? I did meditating. I did a lot of walking in nature. I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of screaming. I did a lot of purging. It's getting rid of stuff that no longer works for us anymore. And sometimes that can be hard because we want to keep things that it's like, well, there's a memory attached to it. Well, what kind of memory is attached? Because sometimes we have to let go of that memory because it can keep us stuck. Because we keep living in that moment. Okay? And they are good, like there are the good moments, and we want to hold on to those. And when you're holding on to those, when you're seeing those moments, those good moments, that's reminding you to focus on the good things, to be grateful and have gratitude for the things that we have. And for the longest time, like people, like we pray, we always pray for something we want, but we forget that it's about praying and being grateful and thankful for the things that we have. I do a lot of not praying for myself in that sense because I have the things that all the things that I need. It's not about me wanting something because the more I want something, the more I'm pushing it away because I'm trying too hard to get that. So if it's put out there, okay, I'd like to have this, but do I need to have it? Because what we need will come to us when it's time for it to come to us. So when we look at old pictures, a lot, like I know other people that they don't like to look at old pictures because it reminds you of that person. Well, if you're afraid to look at the pictures, it's the part of what are you afraid of seeing? What are you afraid of experiencing? Because in order to move forward, we need to experience it. Maybe not in the physical, but we need to allow our bodies to experience it because they even told a therapist, like they were trying to get me with a psychiatrist. Like, no, I ain't going to a psychiatrist. Why? So they can stick a label on me? I don't think so. I was through that for 47 years. And it's like, no more. I'm not your label. I'm not your statistic. I am a child of God. I am a child of spirit. I am the sister. I am the one. I am the mother. I am the father. And in that part, when we allow ourselves to say, okay, I gotta look at this, as painful as it may be. Like I get screaming all the time, like I'll literally, like I get physical feelings in my body, like it's just like, holy crap! Like it's like jumping out of your own skin. Okay, and I know that it's not always what I'm feeling. There's periods where like I feel like my hand wants to draw back and I just want to punch something or just like go absolutely ape poop because I'm feeling what a lot of people are feeling right now because they're trying to understand and it's like we're going crazy and it's like a big shakeup. So I look at pictures and when I look at pictures, I start seeing like, okay, wow, it comes from different timelines. It's like you can be your own sister. And I know that sounds really strange, but when you actually realize it and you realize that, oh my gosh, like I'm having memories of someone else's experience, it gets trippy. And it is real. And that's the part that's hard to comprehend. Like it's like Alice in Wonderland. Okay, you're in one spot, right? You can walk into another spot, and then you're left with like, something doesn't seem right here. It seems so strange. It's because of the aspect of Alice walking through the looking glass. She's walking on the other side of the illusion, or you're walking into the illusion. You have a blessed day too. Te deseo mucha bendición. Yes, and that is the best way to pray. I pray because, like, when I pray, I pray for being like grateful, gratitude, and then I pray for other people because, like I say, what I want to see for myself, I want to see for the world, and I always found it very hard to pray for myself because, like, it's not that it's not that it's selfish because we want things for ourselves, but the way of getting it is trusting yourself, trusting spirit. Okay, and I know there are people out there that don't agree with this or what have you. It's not about religion or anything like that because it's not about throwing shade on somebody else's beliefs because that's how they grew up. It's about being open, open to everything and everyone's beliefs. And I say that because we all come from different. It's like we all come from different worlds, and we're all clashing right now. And others don't understand that. So it's like I'm gonna Bible flip you. I'm gonna push it on you. The Bible is a guide. It does have the truth to it. It has all the experiences kind of intertwined together, and that's where it can become very confusing. You read the Bible, great, because it does have good things in there. It has good teachings. And to me, it has a lot of, like, when I go to, like, whenever I've gone to church, most of the time, it's one religion throwing shade on the other religion. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Because people don't want to believe it, but it all stems from the same thing. It stemmed from the belief. And then it just became that somebody wanted to be worshipped because they brought something to someone, but it was never taught properly. We have wars going on right now, and people are saying it's about land and what have you. It's about portals. It's about, like, the different parts of the constellation, cosmos. Okay, there's so much talk about, like, I don't get a lot into the extraterrestrial stuff because it's about the consciousness, and our consciousness gets manipulated by programs because they're putting the truth out there. And it's the timelines. Okay, it's like two worlds side by side, and we're separate, and it's kind of going like this. So we're kind of in the middle of it all. Okay, I'm going to be honest when it comes to questions about, like, ex partners or partners or what have you. The reason I don't answer that stuff is because I get to the point where it's like, okay, do you, like, what what makes you ask this question? Are you getting a feeling? Are you getting signs that they are possibly doing this? Or, like, sometimes it's that the person themselves may be cheating, so they're thinking that the other person is cheating. I'm not saying you're cheating, but what I'm saying is I don't answer those questions because that's where I say that the person needs out. Like, if they say, "Am I getting back with my boyfriend or girlfriend or what have you?" It's like, do you want to? Why do you want to? What was your relationship like? Why did you split up? Okay, if you're feeling that there's a possible cheating, have you talked to the person? Because that's where the part of communication comes in. And there's a lot of lack of that because there's so much technology. And that's the part of like, are you feeling like you can't trust the person for one reason or other? Or has it happened before? Is there a history of it? Have you had any insecurity of other because others have cheated on you or what have you? Gut feeling, okay? If your gut feeling, then communicate with them, okay? Because that's gut feeling is the empathic part. Because it could be like if you're experiencing, I'm not saying if you are, but that's the part where it's talking, communicating. Because if there's cheating involved, it's usually because there's something not right in the relationship. Okay? And I just got like sort of crying right now. And it's okay. Because if somebody is cheating on you, you deserve that. Okay? It's not the right person for you. And it's not about like being like rushing into something else because it's finding you. Okay? Because nobody deserves to be cheated on. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Either way. But that's when, like I say, when cheating comes into play, if there's cheating in a relationship, there's something wrong with the relationship. It's not working. There's something not being communicated. Okay? So if you have that gut feeling, that's when you sit and you speak with them. Yeah, I just got somebody that just threw something at me. Really? I'm not going to throw it back at you because obviously you're feeling some sort of pain or some kind of truth is coming and it's not liked. I'm not speaking with like anybody per se. I'm speaking with an energy because this is what comes out when I speak in different languages. It's spirit to spirit. Yeah. Okay. One minute. Seriously, feels good because it means that I'm saying something that hits home. Because they like to hit your heart and they like to hit your mind as if to say, lady, shut up. But this lady ain't gonna shut up. Okay. I a lot of my growing up, I had a lot of trust issues. Do I trust people now? it's I don't. It's not that I go by trust. I go by feeling because I feel other people's um, energies. It's feel in the gut, but I feel a lot. I feel a lot in the heart. And I say that I feel a lot in the heart because spirit comes from the heart. Spirit connects with heart. So I could be up next to somebody who is a complete stranger. Okay, and it's not about not trusting the person because I don't know the person. But I've come to understand that it's not necessarily my feelings as it is the feelings of a spirit that has had a connection with that person's spirit that is attached with them at the moment. And I know that sounds really strange, but we've all had past lives. We've all had different timelines. And like I said, we're walking from one timeline to the other. So that's why some things don't make sense. That's why you're feeling like you can trust the person in 1 minute and then it's like they're a totally different person. So you feel like you can't trust them. Okay, that's the part of a spirit to a spirit because those two spirits had a history together. So I'm here to kind of help use my discernment to know the difference. So we fight with one another. Yes, I do know what I'm talking about because I've experienced it. And the past 4 years have been hell more intensely than before. I come into this stuff because I died and I had to let go. And when I died and I let go and I come back, it was like I was starting to do the same pattern over again. So, where I was starting to do the same pattern over again, well, Spirit started teaching me more lessons. You get hauled out, or you get put right back into a situation until you learn the lesson. And it's not a punishment, it's to learn the lesson because you're here for something bigger. You're here for something bigger than you, bigger than your feelings. Because we have our feelings, and sometimes we overthink them. I was talking to someone last night, and they said about like the being intelligent. Yeah, you can be intelligent, but intelligence has a lot to do with the ego. So when you have the intelligence, you have the ego, you don't see the other parts because you're too busy looking at, oh well, I gotta be intelligent. No, it's about having the wisdom because the wisdom will create something much bigger for you than what intelligence will in that sense. Okay, because it's about getting out of your own way. Because somebody just said, are you intelligent? Well, like we're all intelligent in our own way. And did I have an ego? Yeah. But it wasn't an ego of the part that I felt like I was better than everybody else. It was the ego part that was telling me that I wasn't good enough for anyone else. But the thing is, there is one that we are always good enough for, and that's Spirit. That's you. We should be good enough for ourselves. And it's not about listening to what other people say about us. And I know that's difficult. It's hard because it hits like a oof, like I'm gonna knock you over because like you can't get ahead of me. And I've had experiences like that where I've tried to help people to bring them up. And it was like because I was up too high for them, they want to pull you back down. It's like, no, like you're going up the ladder, and because others don't want to do the work, then they want to pull you back down the ladder so that they can get on your back, climb up your back, hop on your shoulders, and go up. Okay, so that's that part. I do get like assertive. I do get the ticked off. I get the rage. Like some people, when I'm talking, it's like my head will just like inside. It's just like, what? Why are they not comprehending this? And that's because in some aspects, I'm not comprehending it either. So it's the part of maybe I'm getting frustrated with myself too, because maybe I'm not putting it out there in the way that some can understand it, but sometimes it is about being that the toughness. Because like I've actually cobbled people. It coddle people as if they're like, they're there. But they weren't learning that. They were just staying in that position where they just wanted to be coddled instead of doing the work. And you can't do the work for someone. You can be there to help guide them and teach them, give them the tools, but we can't do the work. It's like when you're growing up, okay? And some of us went through it, like we would be doing something or what have you. I'll use an example. Okay, I used to go to work with my dad. He was a cleaner, and I'd be sweeping the floor or dry mopping, and my dad would tell me, "You're not doing it right." What? Like seriously? Like you're like we're telling people that you're not sweeping the floor right, okay? But there was times when that happened, and it's just like, okay, well, if I'm not doing it good enough, do it yourself, right? And then you get some where they're kids and they're doing something and they're trying to learn it, but because one parent gets impatient with them, they take it and they do it for them. How is that teaching anyone? By doing it for them, how is it teaching them? And then that's where we have to remember maybe they're not comprehending it or learning it because it's not something that they're interested in. And we don't, a lot of time, we don't focus on that part because we go by a system, we go by our program. And that's why we're all here. We're here to change the systems because the systems don't work. They never did. We were just led to believe they did. For some, they may feel like it works for them. And for the ones like myself that see the bigger picture and they think that like these big systems and what have you that you're giving all your money to, oh well, it's for the people, it's for people. No, it's not. It's for their pocketbook. You get insurance on your house and you got to pay an extraordinary amount of insurance for something that is rare that happens, but you're paying into it. And then every year, like nothing happens, but every year it seems like just the inflation seems to go up. And then when you need to use that insurance, it's like pulling teeth. You're sitting in the dentist, and you got a tooth in there that's really hard, and it's a struggle to get it out. So they break you, or it'll break off, and they will. It's like when somebody goes in medical malpractice. You're broke before you can even get to the end. So then you give up. The systems that we have in place are not for the people. And that's why I don't trust them as far as I can throw them in. Right now, who do I ever want to throw them? Yeah, the stain just came out there. It's like, this. And I'm not saying that money is wrong. It's just misused and abused. And for some, it's that corruption, it's that greed aspect of it. And then the ones that actually want, that have money, or they work really hard to make that money, and then they start using it to help other people without expecting or wanting something in return. And that's where the money is being used for good. It's not just stupid. It's not, they're not hoarding it because like I said it before, you get these people that like you are that others idolize Okay, and they go to the Grammys and stuff, and then they say about, oh, I donated $1 million to this organization. But then come tax time, they're claiming that $1 million to get it back. So in my opinion, they did not donate jack shit. All they did was donate so they could say, oh, I donated, to make a name for themselves, to make them look good. Meanwhile, they're just, what they gave to that organization, they're just taking it back through your pocket. So it's that they're walking out the front door, but then they're sneaking in the back door, so you can't see what they've just done. Would I donate money if I had it? Yes, I do, and I have. I've given people that live out in the streets. I've given them money, and it's not like I don't want. Like I just want to see somebody having a meal. And if people say, you know that person buys alcohol with that. You know what? Maybe I don't like alcohol, but it's like, if that alcohol right now is getting that person through the day, then I guess that's what that person is using, whether I agree with it or not. If I'm giving them money, it's not up to me to say what they can use it for. And it really irritates me when people say about people who live on the streets, because it's not just people who live on the streets that have money. I'm going to be honest with you. When years back, when my son was younger, little, I didn't have money, and I didn't. And I cooked supper, and I wouldn't eat, because I wouldn't eat unless I knew that he had what he wanted. So when I didn't have something, I would go to work with my dad, and I was cleaning. So whenever I went up to this little back lunchroom, if I seen stuff in the garbage, I would pick it out of the garbage and I would eat it. Then you have elderly people. Some people are eating cat food and dog food because they can't afford it. And I look at these organizations, I look at these churches, I look at the kings and queens, and they're sitting in these big palaces, and they have shit piles of gold around and jewels, and they have the audacity to say that the people are starving. Here, the church, give us the percentage of your income so we can say that we're going to do this, but yet nothing is being done. And that's why I have a problem with the church. Not so much the people in that sense, because they're having the wool pulled over their eyes. And then they go and they preach and say about people being humble. The humble ones are the ones that are donating the money. And the ones that really need to be humbled are the ones sitting on those fucking thrones thinking they're better than everybody else. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wow. A form of spirit wants to come through it. It's all going to be in English, and there's going to be some energy moving. and there's a scream there, and it just wants to come out, and it's like, whoa! And this happens. It's I'm gonna say it. It's hope coming up. Sikuria siru tutaya salakaya shalasa. Sikuturia tutui. Kumrikata tukun kumut kurirum katarea isa. Se shule sikreto kutukutukutika patikriam tikitikia tuya. Se anaya anaya. Kiria baroshkarave sikia suya yasa. Dikatuturia dikatuturia yashale sikoyam. Sikria tuya. Sileveria sokoria saria mushreya sakai. Kiratare. Yeah, something just come on and just decided. What's going on here is a spirit to spirit, and that spirit knows what spirit is speaking with it. And I'm not throwing curses or anything like that, because I'm here to break that stuff. I'm here to help people empower themselves to see their own self-worth, to see that they are worthy of good things. We just need to get out of our own way and tell others, like, hey, just because you don't want to get there or you don't want to do the work, it's I'm not from this world. I should go thrown here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually not. None of us are. We're not really from here. We're having the human experience, and a lot of us come in human form, and we come in to experience this and to help spirit, help others to get through. And like I said, I'm for more of the harder souls. A lot of us with classes, lost souls. Some of us have become extremely hard, and when I come across somebody that's hard, I can actually feel it in my heart, and it hurts. It makes me cry, not only in the external but internally. When you want to speak with someone in the spirit realm, or even if you're trying to deal with something from your past and you can't speak to that person that has caused something or turmoil within you, the way of doing it is going within your heart and actually hearing your heart speak to that other spirit through the heart. And if you holler within there, and you can resolve it. I do it all the time, not only for myself, but I do it with other aspects of spirit. I go, it's about like actually allowing yourself to feel, and it's not easy, especially starting out. But once you start realizing what you're capable of, once you start realizing what your body's going through, what you're experiencing, it becomes easier. Some of us are in here to take on other people's karma. That's part of like when you sit and you speak with somebody, and then it's like, holy crap, like the similarities is like, whoa, wait a minute, like this is what you thought, this is what you were feeling, or what have you, and this is what I experienced, or like you experienced this, and I experienced that. And so much time later, I know I talk with someone, and I find it really ironic, just the way things transpire and looking at pictures and what have you. I did a lot of looking at pictures. I do videos. When I do my videos, I actually, a lot of the time, I go back and I watch my videos. And the reason why I watch my videos is because Spirit's not just talking to the collective. And that's that Spirit is actually talking to me also. And and there are entities, beings, affiliations, systems that don't want you knowing that you are able to heal yourself. A lot of people don't like you talking about God, what have you. It's a lot of people, they'll say, oh, well, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Well, okay, if Jesus died on the cross for your sins, why the fuck are you still sinning? Because you're making him die every time you sin. Really? How's that fair? So, and it's like, somebody didn't like that, too bad. Like, seriously. Don't close your mind to just one thing. See the whole picture. It's like we want we want somebody else to save us, but we don't want to do the work. We want somebody else to do it. Yes, somebody like Jesus, Yeshua, what have you. He did heal people, but it was only because they had faith within themselves. He helped them to believe in themselves. It's not about putting your sins on somebody else and making somebody else wear the shit that you did. I had to, like, you got to wear it. You got to own it yourself instead of thinking that somebody else should be wearing it for you. You didn't come in to be treated like a piece of crap by others and told that he was blasphemy and he was this and he was that, because there was two parts. There was two of them. You have the good, you have the two parallels, and they'll call it the positive and the negative. And unless you were in that time, you have no idea what transpired on both planes. Because do you think it was? Do you think it would be easy? Why do you think that he had to like go away and meditate all the time? Because he had to freaking transmute the darkness. He had to transmute everything that he took on of yours. But that's the thing. People don't look at that. It's like when others are taking and you're taking on your energy, you're putting we're putting our stuff on other people. You're making it stick to them. And then you keep going back to that person. Oh, well, this person will absorb it. This person will do that. Do your freaking work. Yeah, I got like there's a part. It's like it's like holy shit, man! I'm angry right now. I told you, my channel can be trippy. It's not for everyone. Some may like me, some may hate me, some may love me, some may loathe me, and that's all right. But I didn't come here to take the shit. There's like there's some people they're able to go to an energy healer, but see they can't heal you if you go in figuring like you're just there to say like you can't it won't work. Okay, no, it won't work because that's what you went in feeling like. So if it doesn't work, well, that's what you wanted. You didn't want it to work. I went for energy healing and it felt great. Like she was doing the energy healing and I could literally feel the lightness in my body. It was just like coming out like that. And she said she's never had that happen in her sessions where it was just like I became light. And there's a lot of times when I just want to scream. And right now there's a hardness in here. Just sit with it. Right now, I have a lot coming in at me, and I've told people we have energy, like the energy comes from our hands. Okay? So when you do this, you have a lot coming in on you, there's like a lot of pressure. To do this, what you're actually doing is you're kind of pushing it outwards. So you're giving yourself that freedom, ability to breathe. Look the eye. So, and excuse me, confirmation. I know that like people come in and they don't like me. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. Just got feeling okay. Will you heal from your illness? Not being able, okay. Not being able to speak to that person. Okay. Feel like okay, because we are spirit, okay? It's spirit to spirit, okay? And I said spirit speaks with me too, so I'll go watch your videos, okay? Try doing a video, okay? As if you're talking with that person, okay? And speak from heart, not from anger, not from the mind in that sense, but speak from the heart, okay? And when you do that, as if you're talking to them, go back and watch it. Allow yourself to experience it within the heart because that's where it all lies. Your pain lies in the heart, but we experience it in the mind. Okay. But we experience it in like, okay, how do I explain it? Okay. We keep it in the mind, the things that we're trying to do. We keep it in the mind, but it may be in the mind, but it's actually affecting your body as a whole. So that's when we become sick, tired, depressed, what have you, because it's the spiritual health. That's where, like, and psychologists, psychiatrists, they'll argue with me till they're blue in the face. And that's okay. It's the way that they were taught. But mental health stems from spiritual health. It's what we hold within our body of things that we've experienced through either this lifetime or previous times, even things that we didn't remember. That's where the PTSD comes from. Okay, they call it a trauma, but in the way I see a trauma is something that happens in that moment, and the trauma becomes PTSD. So when you have the PTSD and it keeps bringing you back to that same thing over and over again, that's spirit's way of saying you need to look at it. There's something there that you're not seeing. There's something that you can do to empower yourself. I've actually taken someone, like, I sat with them and I held their hands and I said, okay, we're going to take you back to that moment. Okay. And I went with them. I can't intervene in that sense. I just like went with them as the support. And they felt better because you go back and you're changing your own story because you're not the label. You're not the trauma. You don't need to continue reliving it because they say that it makes you who you are. Yes. And if you keep reliving that trauma, it's going to make it can make you extremely bitter and not able to move forward. I had many traumas. I had lots of trauma on a spirit realm, a spirit world, where I couldn't see what I was up against, but I was experiencing it. I'll use the movie The Sixth Sense again. Look at the boy. Okay? Others couldn't see what he was experiencing, but the little boy was locked in the closet, or things like that, or he would end up with bruises and couldn't explain them, or he'd have like sometimes our children may have screaming, or we may have screaming, or what have you, be experiencing things that we can't explain to others, and then we end up with marks on us, and we don't know how we got them. It's because you were doing something in the spirit world. Think of the movie The Matrix. Okay, Neo, when he was in the bed and had it locked in. Okay, and then it was like he would go into a dream world, or what have you. Okay, or whatever he experienced in that world would reflect what was in that physical part of it. Okay, if you ever ended up with like having dreams and then you wake up with these big marks on you, and like they just appear out of nowhere and you don't know how you got them, well, that's what's going on. And others will say, "Lady, you're freaking delusional." No, I'm not delusional. I'm speaking truth. I'm speaking from experiences, because there were times that I would wake up and I would have big bruises on my legs right there. That's mainly where my bruises would be. You wake up and you feel like you just had the shit kicked out of you. Well, that's because of the spirit plane that you were on. And with, like you say, not able to speak to that person. If you can't speak to them in person, like you do the spirit, you do the spirit to spirit. Okay, and once you're able to tap into it, and a lot of it is by meditating or just being yourself. You can actually use music, because music will talk to you and it kind of gives both sides. I do it. I do it myself. I listen to music and I can tell when another spirit is kind of saying something to me in that aspect, something that we all try to deal with, but we can't deal with it on the physical plane. Like I had a lot of stuff that I went through with my mom, and I couldn't really deal with it on the physical plane. But when she died, and just the past few years, I've been able to connect with her, and I've been going in the heart and speaking with her in the heart, and she does, like, she'll talk through me because I'm a channel. So I've spoken out loud with her, and she's spoken through me, and we've cried together. And it's that part of, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist, doesn't mean it's not real, because it is. It is real for that person, because they are experiencing it. We just don't understand that part. And the more we learn to understand, then the more we become accepting, and we're able to help one another through things. We're able to learn how to teach how to use tools, or learn how to use tools. It's not about just like coming in and saying, "Here, I'm going to give you these, just take this and then run with it." You've got to teach them. You got to teach them how to use it. You got to teach them how to bring it forward. And I use, I do use crystals, okay, and a lot of people that are affiliated with church and what have you. Oh, that, oh, that won't work. You're not supposed supposed to be doing that. It's like, that's the taboo. It's like, it's all in how you do it. It's all in how you use the tools. Like, nothing is good nor bad. We just make it that way. We just bring it forth that way. When I talk like this, it feels good for me because I also go in within when I feel that pressure, when I feel that tightness, and I talk within myself because it does that clearing. It opens the chakras for me. It helps me to become balanced and centered. Yeah, I get that. Like it's right in here. It's like the gosh. Okay. Yeah, right there. Okay. Right now, someone has fear. It's the fear. There's fear of the unknown. It's like, oh crap. Sorry about that. Oh wow. So I feel others a lot, right? And I can feel when they're being honest with me. I can feel when they're being genuine. And I will call you out. That's the thing. A lot of time I will call it out. And like people will look and I ain't doing that. Okay. Because the way people come through with that, like I had I had someone before tell me like, well, you're not allowed to do that. Like what? Don't tell me what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. If I'm feeling your friggin' energy, it's because obviously you're not protecting your energy or you're throwing your energy out there and I'm going to call you out on it. Like this person. And I feel for them because they know they got the hardness within them. And they were telling me that, and then they went like that to me and threw their disdain at me. And then I was like, whoa. And it wasn't to throw it back at them, it was to block it. It's like block it so it'll drop. Or if I block it, if it hits and it reflects, it's going to reflect back at you. So that's where I say, hurt me, you're only hurting yourself. It's like karma. You only receive karma because we keep sending ill feelings back at each other, opposed to just saying, like, just look and say, hurt me, you're only hurting yourself, and just let it go, and because it will come back on them. But don't throw it back at. Don't throw it at them because that's the only way you're going to stop your own karma. And I know that sounds right out there, and it's like people don't believe. Like some people, they'll say, "Do unto others as others do unto you." It's like no, it's actually do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. So if you want others to treat you like shit, I guess you're going to treat others like shit. And when I have people and I see that I'm being used and they only come around or they only want to talk to me if they want something or if they feel that I can be a benefit of somehow, when I'm no longer a benefit to them, then they treat me like a piece of shit. Or they treat me like I am a piece of dirt under their boot. But see, the thing is, they'll do that, but then when you have something good going on in your life that's life changing, life altering, they want to be a part of it. They want a piece of it. I had somebody last year, somebody was taking me out for my birthday for dinner. And I told this person, and they were supposed to be my friend. And they looked at me and said, oh, must be nice to have somebody take you to dinner. Like, really? Seriously. And this person had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was taking them out to the bars and buying them drinks. So how is them buying you drinks any different than somebody buying me a freaking dinner for my birthday? Jealousy will get you nowhere. It will just get you bitter. You want something good in your life? Freaking do it. Stop being bitter about what other people have and you don't. You don't have it for a reason because you're so damn bitter. Or you just want to get something from somebody else and steal from somebody else because you don't want to do the work. And I'm tired of that. A lot of people are tired of that, and then people wonder why they're not having anything to do with them anymore. I still try with people, but I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that person that somebody can walk over. I love everybody and I care about everybody and I want the best for everybody, but I'm not going to be your fucking doormat anymore. And nobody should be anybody's doormat. It's a world where we're supposed to be working together, not leeching off of one another, not sucking each other's energy dry, not drowning someone because you want to get ahead or because they can swim and you can't. Learn how to fucking swim. Like, a lot of people will work hard for what they get, and if you're in a job or a position or what have you, and something happens, you lose that job or you lose that position, or like something else happens or what have you, and you have to leave that job. That's spirit pulling you out because spirit wants you to see your true worth. Because we're not here to take shit. We're not here to be someone else's slave, someone else's Molly maid, somebody else's Cinderella. We're here to help one another, to teach one another how to save yourself. Because you are your savior. You say about, like people say about Jesus coming back, Christ. It's the Christ energy within you. And Bible people or religious people or what have you, I still love you no matter what. Because I know that it all pertains and comes back to the same thing. We've just been taught different ways. And it's about learning. I want to learn about other people's history in that aspect, not the fighting part. Because I feel that that is ridiculous. And I do. I said before I went somewhere to a jewelry place, and I asked like if they could make me a tiara using crystals. And they told me that because I had a different way of believing things or looking at things, or because I liked crystals or what have you, and I'm not into big fancy diamonds and gold and what have you. Well, they told me that it was against their religion. It's like, wow. I'm sorry, but that makes me cry. It's because it's the ego that gets in the way. It's that limited belief to say, I'm right, you're wrong. And it's not that anybody's right or wrong, because it's all true. It's all on what timeline you're on, what parallel world you're on. And that's why nothing makes sense right now. It's all intertwining together, and it's like a clusterfuck. Excuse my French. Yeah, yeah. But there will be a time like right now I got a lot going on. Yeah, yapper and brain rot. Welcome to my channel again. Obviously, well, you like it, or you like to be the person that wants to come in and cause havoc on other people because you're not happy with yourself. But yap 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 yap. It's not being cocky. It's not being saucy. But is it? Maybe it's just saying I don't give a shit what you say, because maybe that's the part of you that really needs to go in and look at yourself, and that's not an insult. It's if you want to go into somebody else's channel just because you want to troll, as they call it, because I see you as a lost soul. I see you as a hard soul. And that's not to throw shade on you, because I feel for you. I'm not going to dim my light, and I'm not going to be pushed down in a thumb, and I'm not going to have somebody come in and say, I'm going to fucking trump all over you, girl. That's the part where people like to freaking sling shit at other people. But when the shit gets flung back at them, oh, I'm this person, I'm a victim. No, you're not the victim. You're the fucking victimizer in that sense. And you don't like what I have to say? Well, then that's too bad for you. Because I seen your picture and you look to be a younger person. I don't know what happened in your life or what you've been taught, but I'm not going to throw shade on you in that sense, because I don't know what you've been through. Maybe you're just a paid person to come in and talk shit on people's lives to distract them from what their true focus is. But see, the thing is, my true focus is helping people to wake up to their self, wake up to their own power, to tell people that want to say that just because they're saying something that somebody else don't want to hear, it's yap, 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 yap. And some may call me a bitch, and that's okay. Growth, because I'm the type of bitch that's a female, and I will protect my young. And if I look like a fucking asshole, or I look like a bitch, or a cunt, as some will put it, because I just heard that word, I guess so be it. That's your opinion. Um, I talk about a lot of different things. Right now, I'm talking about like when people have trust issues, because a lot of us do, and a lot of the time, like when you have a trust issue, you're feeling it. Your body's telling you that something's not right. I talk about like different things in life. I I talk about the way we're like just with the world in general, with each other, and like if I checked out my YouTube channel for my description page, um, it's Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self, and I can actually come on here and speak because I've done a lot of it, and I've watched a lot of things, and I put my thoughts out there of how I see it and what I feel about it, including my own. I use a lot of my own experiences because it's about putting things out there that others feel that they can't talk about because of fear of being judged by one person or another. Which, you know, let that go. Because if those people are judging you for what you speak of, it's only because they're afraid and can't speak about it themselves. And the way for moving forward is being able to allow yourself to talk about it, being able to allow yourself to release it. It's not about going and talking about the same thing over and over, because what you need is you need people that actually will dig deep and they'll call you out, like to kind of get you to find out what the deep seed is. And I didn't have that in the physical world. I didn't have that from any psychologist or anything like that because they just kept handing me pills and labeling me and saying, oh well, we can't treat you unless we diagnose you. And that ticks me off because that to me that does not make for a good psychologist. It does not make for a good psychiatrist because you just want me to be on a piece of paper and be a statistic so that you can look good. And I'm not saying they're all like that because they're not. And there's more and more that are coming in that are actually going and using their heart to help people. And I love seeing that because we're all here to help on a spirit level. We're all here to help make the world a better place. We're all here to change the systems. That's why we have these protests going on. And then others are saying, oh, well, they're protesting again. Like, will they just stop? It's like, no, because those people that are out protesting for bigger things opposed to just frivolous little shit, but things that are actually going to change the world for the better, they're the ones that are standing up to say, hey, we're standing up for the little people. We're standing up for the ones that want to tell us to shut our face. But then when something big and good happens, they want to benefit from it. So it's like, hey, don't just talk about stuff. Expose it for what it is. Put the darkness in the light. Okay? And they want to be in the light right now, saying, oh, well, we're doing all this good stuff for you. And, oh, here, take a picture. Oh, you better get this angle because this is my better angle. Oh, don't forget. I want to get a picture kissing a baby on the forehead because it goes good for my political run. So those are the ones that like to be in the light like that. But when you put them in the light and you light them up for what they're really doing behind the scenes that you're not seeing, you're only seeing a poser. You're seeing the puppet. So it's actually looking and putting them in the spot that they don't want to be in, and that's the part of lighting up the darkness, lighting up the shadows, embracing your own shadows and seeing that, okay, why did this happen? Why does this, you say, oh, well, why does it keep happening to me? It keeps happening to you because Spirit's trying to get you to look at something. So it's going to keep repeating it. until you see what Spirit's trying to show you. Okay, you can just give me a sec, please. I have to just kind of center because it's all, yeah, a lot of the ancestors. Like there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. I can feel it. I do not trust the news because it actually pisses me off because when do they really show good things on the news? It's always, oh, fear, 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 fear. You got to fear this. This is what's happening. I'm not making fun of it. I'm saying, like, I watched when I had a Samsung TV. Okay, I was watching the news. It was supposed to be the news, but I was looking at the date, and it was supposed to be news for today, for that day. But it was actually new, like they were showing news from a year prior, and it was the news. It was like there when they said about like mental health patients, they were going to allow people to say that they wanted assisted suicide because of mental health issues. Seriously? I gotta say, come on. Like you're freaking killing people or saying that, oh yeah, like here, go commit suicide. I tried to take my life 4 times. It's not the way. The last time I tried to take it was in 2020 when I was going through my spiritual awakening, and I thought the only way to get rid of the darkness, the only way to get rid of that pain, to take it away from everybody else, because I felt like I was a burden for everybody else. I figured that was no way out. So I took 30 or more hydromorphone pills, 10 milligrams each. And then I kept taking I was taking Keppra, I was taking Gravol, I was taking very potent antibiotics. Like if I woke up, I'd take more pills because I thought that was the way out. But it wasn't. Because the spirits, they were angry with me. Because we're all here for something bigger. We're all here to make a difference in the world. And there are negative entities, there are negative aspects of ourselves and beings that will come in and try to take you out of what they call a chessboard. Because it's like kings and queens and the ones that are supposed to be high and mighty. Do you notice that on the chessboard, the ones that are supposed to be the high and mighty kings and queens, they got the fucking pawns in the front fighting for them? Seriously? Wow. When it should be them on the front line. Like a lot of us are on the front line and taking the shit, putting it out there. We're the ones getting the attacks. And everybody needs to stand up together. It's like, remember when you were a kid, okay, and you're on the playground, and it's like you played the game Red Rover, Red Rover. Well, it's Red Rover, I call so and so over. Okay, you're holding the line. And then if somebody can't get through, well, it's the part of explaining, helping them. And then everybody stands in the line hand in hand. It's not about going and punching the shit out of each other. It's not about putting your guns up to one another because nobody wants to. It's like everybody wants to freaking fight first and scream opposed to talking. And then when there are some talks, people just want to give the lip service. Well, when lip service is had, then those people that gave the lip service that went against what they were supposed to be doing, they need to be they need to go in and they need to take those people out and they need to show them for what they really are. Not about killing them or anything like that. They want to be in the spotlight, put them right in the spotlight and put them where they need to deal with themselves. It's that isolation period to see what we've done wrong. And none of us want to look at it for the most part because it hurts to look at. I know. Because I tried running for myself a number of times, but we're not allowed. Unfortunately, Spirit just keeps, get back there. You're not done yet. Holy shit. What? I'm not done yet. Like, when is it right over? It's like a roller coaster. And it's not the fun one. I'll show you the fun one. That's the fun roller coaster. And then sometimes you're still shitting your pants. Excuse my French, but you know. It's like, aren't you a woman? Should you be doing that? Well, I'm a woman, yes. But I'm balanced with the masculine and feminine. So the masculine comes when it needs to, and the feminine comes when it needs to. And it's like, you know, sometimes that wrath of God comes out. And it's like being able to feel it because it's like me, the wrath is hope coming up and saying, I'm coming, and oh, I'm mad. It's like that inner child that we suppress. And it's like it's been abused long enough. We've been abusing that child long enough because we're saying you can't come out, you can't come out. Everybody says we have to be grown up, we have to be grown up. Like, screw you. If I want to go jump in a mud puddle, I'm going to jump in a mud puddle. If I want to sit in it, I'm going to sit in it. And I do, even as an adult. And we've been told that we can't be kids. But we can, and we need to be. It's not all about work, or being intelligent and everything like that all the time. It's having the wisdom and understanding that we need play. It's like sometimes it's like feeling like we got to stick up our ass. Like, oh, I gotta walk this way. I can't walk this way. I gotta walk this way because you gotta fit in the crowd. And what bothers me is you get people on here, well, not per se on here, but people putting things up saying they're not a follower. And then you actually sit and you watch their, like you see what they put online or you watch them and stuff like that. And they talk, well, you're going with one narrative or another, aren't you? Like, why? If you're not a follower, then you're not picking sides. And that's the thing. It's like, I've said it, the child within me. Sometimes that child will scream out and holler and say, stop putting me in the middle of it. For the children, because we're both masculine and feminine, same as the child within us. It wasn't just God having one child, one son, or what have you. Because come in twos. It's like, so when we become empaths, that's when you realize who to trust, who you can and cannot trust, because you start feeling it. And as far as like with what goes on in politics or medical field and what have you, I personally have an extremely hard time with them because I really, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, because a lot of them, they don't listen. They don't listen to the people because they think that, oh, well, I'm the doctor. I know. Like, good for you. Guess what? I know my own body and I know when something is wrong. But that's the part where we need to bring in all aspects, the natural healing and like just all of it together. And like one wants to like the medical field. Well, if you're of natural healing or if crystals like natural crystals and home remedies and stuff like that. Oh, you're a witch doctor. You're a witch doctor. Really? No, I'm not. I'm using Mother Nature. I'm using the natural elements. I'm not using the part where I'm taking a bunch of synthetic stuff and putting it together that I know is making people sicker and giving them more symptoms because it's a lot of, oh, well, here, take this pill because it'll suppress the symptoms. But then because of that pill, it produces more symptoms. It's like the spiritual aspect of things. If the spiritual aspect of our body, of our self, of spirit is not addressed, then it becomes a mental health issue, which causes havoc on our minds because we're not understanding what we're going through. But I'm being honest, I don't trust most doctors as far as I can tell them. I don't trust the medical system because of the stuff that I've gone through and the horror stories that I've heard of and seen from other people. That's I talk from experience. I'm not looking at a book because everything has its place. Only systems are telling us that no, it's our way, and it's only our way. Our way is the only right way. It's like you got a boss that is not open to what others have to offer or what others have to say because, oh, well, it's my way or it's no way at all. Well, I guess it's no way then for you. So later, if people don't want to compromise and be open to hearing what others have to say because others have wisdom too. I deal with somebody like that. It's like you don't want to hear what others have to say, but others are supposed to hear what you have to say because you're the only one that's right. Fuck you. You're not the only one that's right. And that's the part that we get aggravated. But think of things if it doesn't seem right or someone seems different, it's because you just walked into parallel. You've walked over a timeline. You've switched. You're going from place to place, and that's why we feel like some people sometimes we can't trust them. We feel like they're lying, but it's being able to see it because you can actually see that shift when you realize it. Because not only do you experience it within your body, but you can actually see that, wait a minute, there's something different about that person. They don't look the same. I go through that. And it's okay. But when you want to resolve something, the best part is with the heart. And like I said, the spirit to spirit, if you're out somewhere and you feel like something about that person, it's not necessarily that person. It's the spirit to spirit. And that's why we end up fighting. And then we're left wondering, like, what the fuck just happened? Why did that person attack me? Or why did that person come after me? Well, it's not you. It's the spirit. And a lot of spirits have had histories that look like. And that's where you get civil war. Viestejä sekin motoreina ja shalakaya sakaya tutoriai. Tutoria berea sala que tutoria kaya shalaka sakama koti tai tai soi. Sela tutubelea kemakarea tutoria. I am at the, I understand. And I catch myself if I go and I feel like there's judgment coming, I catch myself and I'll cry. Because the eyes tell a story. And there are some people that when you look at them, sometimes they appear that they're so evil. But that evil part is because there's something. Right now, so I'm just having a gander, and I'm actually seeing sort of the ganders. Well, it's not the geese. Well, it's not the geese, but it's ducks. And I'm sticking a finger in it. But I have a pond out back, so it's like 30 seconds a day. Right now, I'm just going to for the energy for this for those that come in. I really appreciate you coming in. For those that give roses and what have you, I really appreciate them. I didn't come here for followers. I didn't come here for gifts. I just come here to share my experiences and to like explain that you know, and it's okay to feel the way you feel. It's just like sitting with yourself. Clear your throat chakra. Speak your truth. Don't be afraid to be who you are. It's not about like I know sometimes I scream and holler at people because like, oh, and I'm not only shaking them, I'm shaking myself too. And that feels good. So, okay, I'm gonna end it there. Read my last card. Weird. Okay. It says, I think Hail to the Chief has a nice ring to it. So, and on the back, strangely, it has a date written. Yeah, somebody just like, go look it up. I'm going to. I gotta figure out if that's an 8 or a 9. So, with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to be seen themselves. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself, your authentic self. Be true to yourself, be true to others. When being authentic, Be who you are, not who somebody says you are or you have to be. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you have more power and you're more powerful and you have more strength than you can comprehend sometimes. で、仕事だけでやったら、いや、しゃべー、つくむりがたい。で、きっととえ、